As part of tonight's ceremony, you'll meet several students who are among the highest academic achievers in the class of 2018. It's the tradition at many colleges, including Middlesex, to recognize one graduate each year as the class valedictorian. The valedictorian is the student who has achieved the highest grade point average in the graduating class. So it's my privilege at this time to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2018, James Legacy. James? James grew up in Meriden and graduated from Maloney High School in 2001. He currently lives in Middletown. Tonight, James is receiving his associate degree in business administration with a perfect 4.0 grade point average. This fall, James will attend Quinnipiac University to pursue a bachelor's degree in finance. He received a Phi Theta Kappa transfer scholarship to help pay for the cost of his education, and he tells me this scholarship is worth $21,000 a year. James says he loves Middlesex for the professors who do a lot for you and who have so much experience to share. And they returned that compliment. Business professor Patty Raymond said, James is a special category because of his perseverance, diligence, and innate ability to strive to do the best possible work. He accomplishes all his endeavors with a positive attitude, discipline, and incredible study ethic. He has great leadership qualities and mentors others. James is a natural team player, and it's very evident when he assumes this responsibility. He's a visionary because he always looks ahead at the long-term goals and concentrates on what needs to be done to achieve them. Without a doubt, James is truly phenomenal, and he has a bright future ahead of him. Well, Professor Raymond, we concur, and all of us here gathered today wish James a bright future indeed. Congratulations, James, on being named the valedictorian of the class of 2018. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Adrian Maslin, Dean of Students, who will introduce our student speakers for the evening.
Well, good evening, graduates, and congratulations to all of you. You've done a remarkable job here, and I'm so very proud of all of you. So it's my pleasure to introduce our two student speakers. We don't often have two student speakers, but I couldn't decide between the two, so why not have both? The first student I'm going to introduce is Michael Parati. Michael is Vice President of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, majoring in business administration. He was raised with a never quit mentality. He developed a strong work ethic as a child and has an abiding appreciation for his family. Mike came to Middlesex to improve himself as a person, to prepare for a career, and because he knows that education is never wasted, no matter where you go or what you do. Michael is one of those students who took advantage of just about everything Middlesex has to offer. He got to know his professors. He got involved with the college through the Honor Society. He used the tutoring center extensively, and he made many, many friends. He is an extraordinary guitar player, and he is graduating with a 3.85 GPA.
Good evening, everybody. President Ojenkin, Dean Minkler, Dr. Harris, Dr. Cook, fellow graduates, families, and guests. When going through life, sometimes we ask ourselves, how did I get here? How did we achieve our goals? What makes us get up every morning and engage in our daily routine? After experiencing this journey through Middlesex Community College, and as I take a look where I'm going, I come to one explanation: drive. Drive is something that a person has to chase their dreams and find themselves. Drive is adrenaline that makes a person push through their toughest struggles. Drive is the ability to say, I can. As someone once told me, when you put your mind to something, you can do anything in this world. Middlesex Community College has given us students the opportunity to better ourselves and prepare for something bigger. The faculty always made a tremendous effort to help students become groomed adults and prepared for our futures. They are always there in our time of need and always keep us on the right track when we start to fall off. My Middlesex education helped teach me to think, become more efficient, and I now apply what I learned in class to my daily routines. This is where we as students can have fun with learning. Middlesex allowed me to learn in my own fashion and be able to compare what I learned in school with my personal life experiences. Most importantly, this college allowed me to be myself. Everyone has something in their life that motivates them. My biggest motivator is my father. When I was growing up, he always told me, what can't kill you can only make you stronger. Work hard to achieve your goals. Never give up. And never, ever take no for an answer. Meanwhile, my mother always says, enjoy the journey. Keeping this in mind, take a moment to put the phones down and shut the computers off for a second. Become involved in your community. Don't be afraid to turn the page to the next chapter and keep moving forward. I walked into Middlesex skeptical of my abilities, and now today, as I stand here before you, ladies and gentlemen, can now say, and when I'm leaving, I can now say, I can. And I thank my teachers, my new supportive friends, and most importantly, my mother and father, who are sitting here right now, for helping me become who I am today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today because of our drive and our background, our work ethic. I took what I learned throughout my whole entire childhood. I put it towards school. And I'm most proud for everything that I've done and the people who were there to support me through everything, especially my family. Thank you very much.
Not that I need it, but. Our next speaker is Brittany Lee Catrona. Brittany Catrona is one of the first students to graduate from MxCC in the English Studies Pathway Transfer Program. Brittany has allowed me to tell you a bit of her story. Her birth parents were drug and alcohol abusers who left her at the hospital to die, and doctors later diagnosed her with an intellectual disability. I want to tell you that Brittany has a 3.81 GPA. She is the president of PTK Honor Society. She practices 3 forms of dance, including ballet, jazz, and her favorite, tap, and engages in volunteer work in her community and at Middlesex. As president of PTK, she led the college project and the Honors in Action project, which ultimately brought 5-star ranking, the highest possible, to MxCC's PTK chapter. She is a member of Student Senate, as well as the Human Services Student Association. Brittany is small in stature, hence the platform that I set up, but she's very big in heart. Because of her speech difficulties, I ask you to read along on the insert in your program as Brittany delivers her speech. Brittany?
Good evening. Thank you, Tina, for the kind introduction. Dean Winkler, Dr. Harris, Dr. Cook, President of Satan, member of the platform party, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates of the class of 2018. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I am honored to speak to you on one of the most special days and milestones in our lives. Without the recent dedication, love, and support freely given to me every day by the woman who I proudly and honorably am able to call my mother, it would never have been possible for me to be standing at the podium or graduating with a college degree. Thank you, Mom. I love you. I would also like to thank the administration, faculty, and staff for their dedication, hard work, and commitment in helping to inspire and challenge students to work as hard as we needed to in order to make it through the semester of midterms and finals and achieve our goals. Lastly, I would like to thank all those who have supported me and prayed for me through the year, along with each of my fellow graduates who share and provided a positive, friendly, and supportive community. We're living here together as a community, no longer the stranger we were that first day. Middlesex has offered us many opportunities to challenge ourselves and develop and deepen our life skills outside the classroom. Being born without a tongue and no moving finger to guide with, along with a multitude of other disabilities and illnesses, I was taught throughout my childhood that developing and practicing good communication skills was essential to my well-being, self-esteem, and living a happy and productive life. I will always have to work at it. While at Middlesex, I chose to take the opportunity to challenge myself and further improve my communication skills through leadership opportunities. Since, after all, we are the leader of tomorrow. I chose opportunities that I believe could make a positive difference in the lives of others. As a member of HASA, I have the privilege of working as the team leader and participating in various community volunteer positions. I also chair a toy drive for a facility in Middlesex. Having been elected as the president of the PTA Honor Society 1 year ago has allowed me some privilege and experience of working with a wonderful team to accomplish intense academic projects, oversee the competition of these projects and completion, mediating a few conflicts, being a resource for other club members, and proudly representing PTA at student senate meetings as well as at all times on and off campus. The experience of being an active member of the student senate has allowed me to observe all sides of leadership, at its best and occasionally at its worst. Participating in the senate process and learn how to negotiate without compromising my own values. These opportunities, along with various others at our small community college, have gifted me and allowed me to move on with an even greater self-confidence that I have upon entering Middlesex. I believe that this confidence, along with my leadership abilities, will definitely gain access to the world at large. As each of us receives our diploma and graduate, going our own different ways, some of us moving often or beginning new careers, and others, like myself, continuing on in the world of academia. I hope that my presence on this Middlesex campus, as well as my brief story here tonight, have in some small way inspired each of you to never stop learning, even outside of the classroom, and continually pursue challenges that help you improve and perfect your own life skills in order to give back and better the lives of others. Thank you, and congratulations, graduates.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Cheryl Dumont-Smith, Associate Dean of Development for the college, who will present the Distinguished Service Award.
I'm pleased to present the Distinguished Service Award this evening to the Peach Pit Foundation. And I would like to invite Sharon Griffin to join me at the podium right now. During the past 3 years, I've had the privilege of working with many caring individuals and organizations in my role as Executive Director of our college foundation. Their donations of time, talent, and sometimes treasure have supported the journeys of countless students and other members of our community, and they have inspired me and others to do the work that we do. I can honestly say that none of these groups have been more attuned and more generous to the path of our students than the Peach Pit Foundation, which hails from Durham, Connecticut. I've had the most contact with Peach Pit trustee Sharon Griffin up to this point, and I realize from getting to know her that she truly understands firsthand the idea that sometimes achieving one's dreams involves overcoming personal challenges along the way. The other thing I have seen is that Sharon and the Peach Pit Foundation are certainly open to exploring the many different ways that assistance and support can be given, and they have adjusted their MxCC giving to include a variety of opportunities during the time I have known her. These have included traditional scholarships, certified nursing assistant scholarships to honor the professional path that Sharon's mother took, emergency funding to help students who need a small push to get over a particular crisis, and even general support for the work of the foundation, most notably during MxC's 50th anniversary year in 2016. On behalf of Middlesex Community College and all of the students that your foundation has helped over time, we salute you tonight. In closing, I would agree that with a man by the name of Nelson Henderson, who must have known the members of the Peach Pit Foundation when he said that the true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Peach Pit. I don't know if you want to say something. Okay, yes. please do.
Good evening. I'm honored to be with you tonight to accept this award on behalf of my family. Through the past few years, we have been able to form a wonderful partnership with Middlesex Community College staff and students. It has been our pleasure to work with this staff, whose dedication to both the college and its students seems endless. These individuals have also embraced the mission of the Peach Pit Foundation, and they have contributed their own time, energy, and expertise into making our goals and intentions become a reality. This partnership has introduced us to many admirable students who are willing to work hard, make sacrifices, and persevere through challenges, all in a quest to enhance their life and follow their dreams. These are the exact qualities we look for when we are searching for ways to offer both opportunities and possibilities to deserving individuals. Working with an action-minded, caring staff and selecting the right students for assistance are key factors to the success of the Peach Pit mission. As you celebrate your graduation and begin to follow a new avenue in life, I might suggest 3 simple things for you to keep in mind. Look to form good partnerships of your own with people, careers, and nonprofits. Strong foundations are essential to building your own happiness. Be kind to yourself and to others. This does not always take money. Your time, energy, and commitment are priceless gifts. And when you get settled and are rightfully feeling proud and content with the life you have created, look around. Lend a hand to someone who is working hard to follow their dreams, or to a person who needs a little light in their life. I promise doing this will bring more joy to you than you might imagine. Again, thank you for this recognition. We too look forward to the future and to continuing this positive, powerful, and evolving relationship with Middlesex Community College. Congratulations.
Before we move on, I have an award to make that is not in your program. Emeritus status is a special recognition granted to retiring employees who have been at the college for at least 15 years and who during the course of their career have distinguished themselves in providing meritorious service. Professor Nancy Kelly began her career at Middlesex Community College 34 years ago. She is retiring at the end of this month, having served as program coordinator of accounting for many of those years. Under her leadership, the program has consistently had one of the highest graduation rates at the college, and this is a direct result of her commitment and dedication to her students and her tireless efforts to evolve the program to meet the needs of students, businesses, and the community. Her methodical, organized approach, along with superlative advising, has led to consistent success. Professor Kelly has also been instrumental in preparing campus-wide articulation agreements and has been engaged with the Middletown community through the United Way's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. Nancy, if you join me at the podium, it's my honor to confer upon you the status of Professor Emerita at Middlesex Community College. There is another person at the college not on the platform party, a true fixture if there ever was one, who will be retiring later this year but before next year's commencement ceremonies. So therefore, I felt it appropriate to mention today, at this year's commencement, that at a separate event a few months from now, we will also confer the status of Librarian Emerita on Ms. Lon Liu. For 26 years, Lon has dedicated her service to Middlesex Community College, first as a librarian, then as director of the library, and now director of the Library and Learning Commons. Her work ethic, professionalism, intelligence, and warm personality are legendary. We will invite you to join us at a grand reopening of the new Learning Commons in Chapman Hall, at which time we will also formally confer emeritus status to Ms. Lon Liu. Advance congratulations, Lon.
It has been our tradition at Middlesex, instead of having a musical interlude, as many colleges do at commencement, we have a poetry or a poetical interlude. So I would like to introduce our poet for this year, Sean Bechtel. Sean Bechtel is a 20-year-old graduate majoring in broadcast cinema. He came to Middlesex because he didn't know what he wanted to do in the future, and the college was affordable. While he was here, he fell in love with the Center for New Media, and he will soon be transferring to Husson University in Bangor, Maine, where he hopes to earn a bachelor's degree in TV production. His dream is to be a filmmaker. While at Middlesex, Sean was a member of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, the Film Club, and the Creative Writing Club. When he is not helping other students with their video projects, he is writing poetry and has been working with his professor, Christine Ruggiero, to prepare this poem for you today. Sean?
I stand before all of you millennials, or what some call the failed generation, the doomed generation, the too plugged in they can't even get off their phones generation. For why are they crying? They're too sensitive generation, they're too lazy because they have everything generation. The let's hope and pray the next generation is better generation. Well, I stand before all you millennials, my fellow graduates, to say, I'm tired of it. What I see is the light shining from the fire burning bright in your eyes, the power to change the world at your fingertips. We've created Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. We are educated enough to use the technology. We keep improving. We aren't afraid to protest for the rights of those who are oppressed. And we definitely aren't afraid to take a stand, because for us, it only takes 17 minutes to walk out there and make a change. I see bright, young innovators. I see a new generation that we cannot wait to make this world better generation, that nothing is going to stop us because we care too much generation, that we do not care what is thrown at us because we have the right tools generation, and it does not matter how long it takes because we don't even sleep generation. Now, all the fake news we get will not stop us because we are the right generation. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce you to tonight's keynote speaker. Dr. Christopher Cook is, in my opinion, a rock star among college and university faculty. He is much beloved by his students at Western Connecticut State University in Danbury, where he is professor of political science and social science. He is founding director of the university's Center for Compassion, Creativity, and Innovation, and director of WestConn's Kathwari Honors Program, which he has grown from 60 students to over 400. These are only a few examples of Dr. Cook's campus leadership and his professional achievements as described in your commencement program. I invited Chris to join us tonight because I believe his message is a perfect antidote to a trend that seems to be pulling our society in a direction away from empathy, understanding, and respect. With your help, I've tried to envision Middlesex as an antidote to that cultural shift as well. In his book, The Compassionate Achiever, Dr. Cook wrote, "When you choose to walk life's paths as a compassionate achiever, your level of strength and success becomes greater than the sum of your personal achievements, because the success of others becomes your success too." Please join me in welcoming Dr. Chris Cook.
Congratulations to the class of 2018. There was one overarching idea that I hope you walk away with from my brief talk tonight, and that is that compassion is the key that unlocks success. And not just normal success, but sustained success in both your academic and professional, and I would even argue your personal lives. I'm not saying that work jerks, or people like them, won't succeed at times. Oh, they will. But it's a short, very short success because there's always people looking to take them down. When you're a compassionate achiever, people are moving forward with you. I've seen this work jerk and compassionate achiever successes from my days on Wall Street working at the American Stock Exchange to my years as a counterintelligence agent during the Cold War. Yes, I am that old. To almost 2 decades now as a college professor. If you want to attain and sustain success, then compassion should be the value, virtue, and verb that you should practice. And I define compassion. Let's get this out of the way too. I'm also the founder of the debate team on campus there, and you always have to define what you mean, right? Compassion. It's got 2 parts. 1, 360-degree holistic understanding of the problem or suffering of another. And then part 2, you take action to address that problem and suffering. And the evidence for compassionate achievers succeeding is all around us. And I'm just going to highlight some cases in science, economics, political history, and nature, and all within 10 minutes, promise. Science. When it comes to evolution, what are we taught by people who think they know Charles Darwin? We hear it's survival of the fittest. Yeah, the fittest. There's a big problem there. Charles Darwin never said that. You can look that up. Go to his books. Go to On the Origin of Species. You will see that he hypothesized something like that. An hypothesis is a guess. And then he did all his research. By the way, the guy who did come up with that phrase was Herbert Spencer, not Charles Darwin. Because Charles Darwin found in all of his research, especially if you go to The Descent of Man, which he wrote later on after all his research was done. In The Descent of Man, in chapters 2, 4, and 5, you know what he said? He said that the species that will move up the evolutionary ladder the most efficiently and effectively is the species that will have its highest number of its members as, and this is his word, sympathetic to each other. And he defines sympathy as compassion, as altruism, and generosity. That is Charles Darwin. Don't read some interpretation of him. Please go back to the original, and you will see that it is not survival of the fittest. If anything, it's survival of the kindest. And that is Charles Darwin. Also in neuroscience, in 2013, Dr. Tanya Singer showed us that when people think in a compassionate way, they use the same neural networks as though they're in love. And when you think empathetically, which is different than compassion, you use different neural pathways. Neural pathways of pain. So compassion unlocks not just success, but also the love of life and the love around you. Science, from Darwin to neuroscience, has shown that, and it is clear. In economics, remember reading in the 1990s, people were talking about this one company that everyone should follow in the business world, because if you want to succeed in business, you got to follow the ones that are on top, right? Ask the Celtics that right now. They're doing all right against the Cavs, right? The idea is Enron was seen as a model. It was founded in 1985. It died in 2001. You know why? Because it literally drove electricity into the ground so it could raise its own bottom line. And it took out a governor, Governor Gray Davis of California. And that's how we got the governor, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger became in. And Gray Davis said there's something funny going on with electricity going into the ground. We now know that's what they did. They are gone, by the way. Enron, the success, looking out for your own self, is in the dustbin of history. Now, we have businesses like Patagonia, right? Since the mid-1970s, going strong. And what do? They give back to the communities that they're in. From science to economics, compassion is at the forefront of success. Political history now. Told you we'll get through this fast. I just want to bring up Stalin versus the Pope. Stalin answered to Churchill. Churchill asked this question of Stalin in 1944. Aren't you worried about the Pope in Rome? And this is what Stalin said to Churchill. I wish I could do a Russian accent. How many divisions does the Pope of Rome have? And he laughed sarcastically because Stalin believed that brute force was the answer to everything. One question, where is Stalin's Soviet Union? In the dustbin of history. And where's the Pope? Pope Frankie's doing all right, right? He's still around. Compassion. Compassion leads to success. Now in nature, I said we get to nature. You have the hardest element, rock. What can cut through the hardest element? One of the softest elements, water. So when you think of compassion and you want to call it soft, I'll take it. Because that soft element, those soft elements can cut through the hardest things in life. So why do many of us believe the way of thinking that even the person who we think created it, Charles Darwin, doesn't support? It's because of society. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, famous for the social contract, he said that we are all born with quote-unquote natural compassion, and we unlearn it through society. When I was on a Fulbright scholarship in another country, in the country of Estonia, I was teaching about realism in international relations, and it was about, pushing someone down so that you can stand up. And one young Polish scholar, I'll never forget her, she raised her hand, she goes, Dr. Cook, what's King of the Hill? Because I was using King of the Hill as an example. So I had to explain to 119 European students from all different countries that in the United States, kids on playgrounds play a game called King of the Hill where they push each other down so that they can stay on top. She raised her hand. She said, thank you, Dr. Cook. And I straightened my tie like, yeah, I got that. And then she said this, that explains so much about the United States. And I went like this. We played King of the Hill. We played Kill the Carrier. Those are the things we as a society put on top. And when someone's compassionate, we say they're soft. Follow them to success, because they will be there. And they're going to stay there, by the way. We've been told that it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, that in order to be number one, you have to look out for number one, and that only the ruthless win, and that nice guys finish last. Everything that we've been told about success, whether in boot camp, in business, in the field, is wrong according to science, economics, political history, and nature. In other words, according to freaking reality. So I have one request for everyone here as you leave this graduation tonight. Live your life as reality shows us to live it as compassionate achievers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those words. Good evening. It is such an honor for me to be able to present the award for academic excellence. The award is presented to a graduating student who has achieved a cumulative quality point average of 4.0, who has completed 50% of their requirements at Middlesex Community College. A 4.0 average equates to all A's. You have already been introduced to this year's recipient, who is also our class valedictorian. At this time, I'd like to call James Legacy to the podium. James, congratulations.
Okay, just about time for the certificates to be awarded. But last but not least, I know, the Pritchett Taylor Award, established in 1969, by college founders Mary Pritchett and Edith Taylor, and currently held by the MxCC Foundation, are awarded each year at commencement to two graduating students with the highest cumulative grade point average who have earned at least 30 credits at MxCC, who have attended full-time for at least 2 semesters. This year's recipients are Michael Pazareskis and James Legacy. I invite Michael and James to the podium to collect their award. Michael decided to attend Middlesex Community College because he was uncertain of what he wanted to do and felt that MxCC was a good fit for him in discovering his educational goals. His love of science and passion for the environment led him to major in environmental science program. Michael is transferring to Quinnipiac University this fall to major in biology. His goals are to obtain a degree in biology and find a career that involves conservation or environmental science and biology. Okay, so here we go, Michael. Congratulations. And since you have already heard about James Legassi's amazing achievements, I join my colleagues in congratulating you and in presenting this award. Congratulations.
Okay, graduates, it's time. Dr. Minkler, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, and the candidates for certificates. These candidates have completed all the requirements for their degrees and certificates as prescribed by the Board of Regents of the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities and have been recommended by the faculty of Middlesex Community College. Introducing the candidates for the Associate in Arts and Communication is being presented by John Schaefer.
Okay, let me get out my little rings. Come on, you can come up. Rachel Molnar. You got that? Max Priebnow. No, I'm sorry, no. Oh, you got it right. Thomas Ratliff. Brendan M. Cleary. Emily Ghazi. Alan Marshall. Daniel Ortiz. All right, I think that's it for me for now.
That group of graduates also included the CSCU Pathway Transfer degree in Communication Studies. Now, the CSCU Pathway Transfer degree in Criminology Studies presented by Associate Professor Rebecca Rist-Brown.
Kristen Amarone. Nicholas Campanello. Paula Rose Lucarelli. Brianna Chop.
The CSCU Pathway Transfer degree in English Studies is being presented by Professor Donna Bontatibus.
Mark Kennedy. Catrona.
The CSCU transfer pathway in history studies is being presented by Professor Victor Trier.
John J. Pascal.
The CSCU pathway transfer degree in psychology studies being presented this evening by Professor Rebecca Lowe.
Daniel Gould. Jillian Oyola. Cassidy Irwin. Krista Wells. Ella R. Wilson.
The CSCU pathway transfer degree in social work studies being presented by Associate Professor Jennifer Hernandez.
Joshua L. Hager.
The CSCU pathway transfer degree in theater studies presented by Professor John Schaefer.
And I just want to mention that this student has the honor of being the first student in theater studies at Middlesex. Daniel Ayat. Is it Ayat? Daniel Ayat.
Jared, your card? Your card. No, that's okay. Right there. Yes. Great. Jared Sullivan. Angie Lee.
The Associate in Science and Biotechnology is being presented by Assistant Professor Frank Stillabote.
Morelli Vargas. Suzanne Wall.
The Associate in Science and Broadcast Cinema, being presented by Professor Rich Lenosi.
Ian D. Howard. Wesley Hunt. Thank you. Casey A. Mace. Brandon Marino. Stephanie L. Smallshaw. Daisy Tetcher. And Sean Bechtel.
The Associate in Science and Business Administration is being presented by Associate Professor Susan Lugley.
Jeremy Boughton.
Samantha R. Cardona. Stephen Syka. Delphine Anna Maria Dortenzo. Skylar Q. Ernst. Cassandra Jasinski. That's the way. Tammy Palangio. Nicole Pappas. Jessica Quispilima Dominguez. Nancy G. Tripconi. Legacy? Okay. James Legacy. Yes. Michael Parati.
The Associate in Science and Computer Information Technology is being presented by Professor Donna Hilton.
Ricardo De Silva. Benjamin Gergler. Dennis McGarty. Hervé Chaminga. Juan Santiago.
The Associate in Science and Criminal Justice being presented by Associate Professor Rebecca Rist Brown.
Barbara Gannon. Frederick Gangler. Sarah Ledger. Jennifer Mitchell. Daniela Palameque. Nicole Tate. Natasha Ramos. And Craig Zaleski.
The Associate in Science and Early Childhood Education is being presented by Assistant Professor Norma Rosado Javier.
Come on up. Jocelyn Allen.
Thank you.
Carolyn Candelora. Geraldina Castro. Carly Chapman. Valeria Gonzalez. Leva Muller. Janice Rivera Rodriguez and baby. Mariela Roldan. Allison Wickham.
The Associate of Science in Engineering Science being presented by Associate Professor Lynn Lin.
Yan
Krasnow. Aaron Marsali.
The Associate in Science in Environmental Science being presented by Professor Christine Witkowski.
Michael Pazareskis.
The Associate in Science in General Studies being presented this evening by Professor Mark Busa and Professor Christine Ruggiero.
Christopher Bell. Sarah Carey. Lara Ellison. Dwight Carmona.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience.
Elijah Castillo. Caitlin Cotter. Daisy Crowley. Ricky Davidson. He is also receiving a certificate in Health Career Pathways. Zach Forte. Kyle E. Gomez. Chelsea L. Half. Riley Johnson. No sunglasses. Brandy L. Klemba. Jennifer Lane. Felix Lavoie. Nicholas O. Lee.
Anastasia Matos. Stephanie McConville. Nathalie Palaba. Robert Munson, also getting a certificate in multimedia certificate. Namrata Patel. Taryn Pavlisko. Sam J. Perry. Yulia Polishchuk. Francis Matilda Rosario. Destiny Rowe. Jillian Russo. Ashley Sanchez. Cheyenne Santello. Elizabeth Spash. Janai Suarez. Evan Sweet. Kevin Weesey. Kevin Wilson. Tanya Wilson. Gabriel Zamorano.
The Associate of Science in Human Services, presented by Associate Professor Jennifer Hernandez.
Shailene Vadillo. Jillian Belder Seeley. Angelos Burgos Martinez. Tanya L. Burr. Shakira Shapiro. J. Jung Doe. Pina Gadona. Jacqueline Holzer. Deborah B. Kennedy. Christina A. Oberlin. Lorena Ortiz. Lauren Peace Morin. Lucretia S. Perry. Braden Robinson. Rebecca Rogoff. Valerie E. Smith. Jessica L. Torres.
The Associate of Science in Management Information Systems, being presented by Professor Donna Hilton.
Bart Chaska.
The Associate of Science in Marketing, presented by Associate Professor Susan Lugley.
Michaela Ann Westerberg.
The Associate of Science in Multimedia, presented by Professor Rick Erickson.
Ahmed Mohammed Adam. Ahmed is also getting a certificate in broadcast communications. Dimitri Aguilero Toledo. Gage B. Allen. Deborah L. Jarzabak. Catalina Vasquez.
The Associate in Science in Ophthalmic Design and Dispensing, presented by Professor Emeritus Raymond Dennis.
Josephine E. Pina Apostolidis. Amanda Arroyo. Mary M. Arroyo. Micah S. Benton.
Congratulations, Micah.
Carolina de Leon. Mackenzie O. Dostey. Stephen R. Gagnon. Tyler D. Kelly. Megan E. Lehman. Lisbeth N. Maldonado. Savannah B. Mohan. Sharon L. Perkins. Celeste A. Santiago. And Delaney A. Vargas.
The Associate in Science in Radiologic Technology is being presented by Professor Judy Wallace.
Renee D. Rousseau. Nicole Galuli. Ashley M. Hall. Erica P. Hool. Michelle L. Lewin. Erin is receiving a degree in radiologic technology and the Health Career Pathways Certificate. Erin E. McMorrin. John J. Muscatello. Lindsay L. Ochenkowski.
Congratulations to you, Lindsay. You'll get your case there.
Tatiana Ponce. Samantha S. Schaefer. Jamie M. Vandermeed. Eric S. Wallace. Hannah J. Zamiti.
The Associate in Science in Technology Studies, Computer Engineering Technology, presented by Associate Professor Lynn Lin. Okay. And Technology Studies, Manufacturing Machine Technology, also presented by Associate Professor Lynn Lin.
Teres Farato. Got that right. Nicholas Spinelli. Nicholas is also getting a certificate in manufacturing machine technology.
The Associate in Science in Veterinary Technology, presented by Assistant Professor Christopher Gargamelli.
Aldona Bakchik. Jillian A. Feta. Stephanie Hofeld. Kayla Litke. Caitlin Murphy.
Kelly M. Partridge. Lauren B. Passero. Alexis V. Piscatelli. Bethany L. Powell. Michelle Pugarin. Jenny M. Smith. Taylor Steinhilper.
Presenting the candidates for certificates is Academic Division Director Sarah Brinkerhoff.
For Juvenile Justice, Christina Ortega. Also Juvenile Justice, N.J. Sonny Williams I. For Manufacturing Machine Technology, Jesus M. Arroyo. Manufacturing Machine Technology, Jose Santiago. For Substance Abuse Education, David F. Polvani. And for Therapeutic Recreation, Jesse Ouellette.
At this time, I'll ask the color guard to retire the colors.
Detail, pull. Lift, face. Reset, on. Tire the color. Detail, order, on. Parade, good.
Would the graduating class please stand as you are able? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents for Higher Education and the State of Connecticut, I hereby declare the Associate in Arts degrees, the Associate in Science degrees, and the certificates as conferred. Graduates, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Middlesex Community College Class of 2018. To our graduates, when Middlesex Community College opened its doors in 1966, its new president, Philip D. Wheaton, said, "Try to create an environment where students not only learn to make a better living, but a place which will help them make a better world. Graduates, I charge you to heed President Wheaton's challenge. Take what you have learned at Middlesex to earn a living, certainly, but use your knowledge to improve your lives and the lives of those around you. But don't stop there. I charge you to keep learning every day of your lives. Treat every new person you meet and every new challenge you face as a chance to increase your knowledge base. Each new piece of information is one step on the road of your 1,000-mile journey. I charge you to embrace change. Your journey probably won't be in a straight line from point A to point B. Mine certainly wasn't. Detours, shortcuts, and twists and turns add richness to our lives in ways we rarely expect. Be open to opportunities that may surprise you. You're up to the task. We are honored to have been part of your journey. Thank you again for choosing Middlesex Community College, your future. This college is your alma mater, and you will be our alumni forever. Please stay in your places until our Grand Marshals lead out our color guard, dignitaries, faculty, and staff. Graduates, after the faculty and staff, the student marshals will help you all file out. And to all of you, please join us on the second floor of Chapman Hall for a reception in honor of the class of 2018. At this time, the 51st commencement exercises of Middlesex Community College are hereby adjourned. Congratulations.